folks, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is Divine Consciousness Wave. Imagine for a moment that your life is not a struggle against resistance, but a wave you are learning to ride. A divine wave of consciousness that carries within it infinite power, infinite wisdom, and the exact resources you need to become who you are meant to be and create what your soul came here to create. Right now, this wave is moving through your life, through your awareness, through this very moment. The question is not whether the wave exists. The question is whether you will recognize it, align with it, and ride it consciously towards extraordinary possibility. What if everything you have been struggling to achieve could come with greater ease when you understand one fundamental truth? You are not separate from the power that moves the universe. You are an expression of it. Your consciousness is divine consciousness. Your power is cosmic power. The wave that moves through all existence also moves through you, waiting for you to recognize it, trust it, and harness it for what matters most. There is a cosmic intelligence moving through all life. What ancient traditions call the divine, what modern science calls the unified field, what spiritual practitioners recognize as the source of all being. This is not something external to you. You are this consciousness experiencing itself through human form. Your thoughts arise within it. Your emotions flow through it. Your actions express it. And when you recognize this, when you align with it fully, you gain access to power that transcends personal will and wisdom that surpasses personal understanding. Today, we explore the divine consciousness wave, how to recognize it moving through your life, how to align with its direction, how to ride it with skill and confidence, and how to channel its power into creating results that matter not just for you, but for all those your life touches. This is where ancient spirituality meets modern achievement, where surrendering to higher power meets deliberate creation, where being and doing unite into unstoppable action. The divine consciousness wave is not coming, it is here now. It has always been here. The question is whether you will finally recognize what you have always been and step fully into your power. Understanding the wave. To ride the divine consciousness wave effectively, you must first understand its nature, what it is, how it moves, and why most people miss it even though it is constantly available. The wave is not vague spiritual concept, it is the actual mechanism through which consciousness creates reality, and understanding it changes everything about how you approach life and possibility. The divine consciousness wave operates on several fundamental principles. First, it is infinite and abundant. This is not positive thinking, this is observable effect. The universe is not running out of energy, matter, or intelligence. Stars are being born constantly. Life continues to evolve and express in new forms. Consciousness continues to expand and recognize itself in greater complexity. The wave you are riding comes from infinite source and carries infinite potential. When most people experience scarcity, they are not encountering actual scarcity in the universe. They are encountering scarcity in their consciousness, their beliefs about limitation, their fears about not having enough. They focus on what is lacking rather than what is available. This narrows the channel through which the abundance of the universe can flow into their lives. Second, the divine consciousness wave is purposeful. It is not random or chaotic. It moves towards evolution, growth, greater complexity, greater consciousness, greater expansion of potential. Look at nature, from quantum particles organizing into atoms, to atoms from organizing into molecules, to molecules organizing into life, to life organizing into consciousness. Everything moves towards greater integration and higher expression. You're part of this movement. There, your consciousness is evolution, becoming aware of itself through your unique perspective. Third, the wave is responsive to consciousness. This is the quantum principle that connects ancient wisdom to modern physics. What consciousness focuses on, what consciousness believes, what consciousness expects to encounter, these shape what actually manifests, not through magic or wishful thinking, but through the actual mechanics of how perception, behavior, and reality interact. Your consciousness is literally co-creating your reality in each moment. Research in quantum mechanics shows that observation affects reality at the subatomic level. Brain imaging shows that your expectation literally change how you perceive and process information. Studies on goal achievement shows that clear vision combined with belief dramatically increases success. These are not coincidences, they are reflections of the fundamental truth that consciousness and reality are not separate. Fourth, the divine consciousness wave is intelligent. It is not blind force but wisdom. The same intelligence that organizes your body cells, that guides your immune system, that dreams your dreams at night. This is operating through the wave. When you align with this intelligence rather than trusting only your personal thinking, results come with greater ease and solutions appear that your limited mind could not have conceived. Fifth, the wave invites participation. It is not something that happens to you, it is something that happens through you. You're not a passenger being carried along, but a conscious co creator. You can learn to read the wave, to position yourself optimally, to move with its direction, and to channel its power towards what you choose to create. Understanding this principle, you begin to see why some people seem to move through life with remarkable ease, creating abundance, building meaningful relationships, making genuine contributions, experiencing fulfillment. They are not smarter or luckier. They have learned either consciously or intuitively to ride the divine consciousness wave. They have aligned their personal will with the intelligence of the universe. They have become channels for power greater than themselves. Now, let us understand that recognizing the wave in your life. The divine consciousness wave is always moving through your life. The challenge is learning to recognize it because it often arrives disguised as ordinary events, unexpected meetings, surprise opportunities, or even challenges that contain within them seeds of growth. When you learn to read the signs, you discover that the universe is constantly communicating with you, guiding you towards your highest possibilities. One of the clearest signs of the wave is synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that seem orchestrated by intelligence. You think of someone and they call. You need information and it appears. You face a challenge and the exact person who can help appears in your life. These are not random occurrences. They are the universe's way of showing you that consciousness is orchestrating your experience and that there are no accidents, and that when you are aligned with your highest purpose, everything conspires to support you. Challenge is that people often dismiss synchronicity as coincidence or luck. But when you shift perspective and recognize synchronicity as a universe communicating, your relationship to life transforms. You stop seeing random chance and start seeing intelligent orchestration. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start recognizing yourself as a conscious co creator. Another key sign is intuition, that knowing that arises without logical derivation. The word intuition means inner knowing. It is your consciousness accessing information from the larger field of consciousness. Successful entrepreneurs trust their gut. Great artists follow intuitive impulses. Wise teachers sense what students need to hear. Scientists experience sudden insights that leap beyond logical reasoning. This is intuition, direct access to the divine consciousness wave. Most people ignore their intuition because they have been trained to trust only rational thinking. But the most successful people across business, science, art, and service consistently report that their breakthroughs came through intuitive knowing that they later validated rationally. Learning to trust and act on your intuition is learning to ride the divine consciousness wave. The third sign is what we might call energetic alignment. That sense of rightness that comes when you're moving the direction your soul wants to go. When you're aligned with the wave, things feel effortless, not because no effort is required, but because the effort feels natural and meaningful. You're not forcing yourself, you're expressing yourself, you're not doing what you think you should do, you're doing what wants to be done through you. You can feel this difference in your body. When you're walking in a wave, there is tension, resistance, heaviness. When you're riding the wave, there is flow, ease, lightness. Your energy expands rather than contracts. Your activity, your creativity accelerates rather than diminishes. Your relationships deepen rather than conflict. A fourth sign is what calls the quality of questions. The natural curiosity that arises when you turn to the wave. Instead of asking, why does this always happen to me? You ask, what is this here to teach me? Instead of how do I avoid failure, you ask what am I capable of creating. Instead of why do I feel stuck, you ask what am I ready to discover. The question you ask literally program your consciousness to search for certain patterns and possibilities. Better questions open better possibilities. The divine consciousness moves towards those who ask questions aligned with growth, contribution, and evolution. A fifth sign is what might be called accelerated learning. The discovery that when you are riding the wave, you learn more quickly, retain more effectively, and apply knowledge more creatively. It is as if the universe is teaching you, feeding you exactly the knowledge and experiences you need at precisely the right moment and time. When you notice these signs, synchronicity, intuition, energetic alignment, quality questions, accelerated learning, you are recognizing the divine consciousness wave moving through your life. These are not mysteries to be analyzed, but invitations to be followed. The wave is saying, I'm here, I'm moving in this direction. Will you consciously ride with me? Now let us contemplate the aligning with the wave. Recognizing the divine consciousness wave is the first step. Aligning with it is the second, and this is where personal power truly manifests. Alignment means bringing your consciousness, your beliefs, and your emotions, your intentions, and your actions into coherence with the intelligence and directions of the wave. It is the difference between being carried along unconsciously and surfing powerfully and intentionally. The foundation of alignment is clarity, knowing what you truly want, not what others expect you to want, but what your deepest self authentically desires to create an experience. Most people have never done this deep work. They pursue goals imposed by family, culture, or previous conditioning. They achieve external circus success only to discover it feels hollow because it was never truly theirs. Clarity comes through getting still enough and honest enough to hear your own deeper knowing. It comes through asking yourself difficult questions. What lights me up? What challenges brings me alive? What would I create if I could not fail? What does my unique gift wants to express? When you answer these questions truthfully, clarity about your purpose emerges. The second element of alignment is belief. You must believe that what you're calling towards is actually possible for you. This is not naive optimism or positive delusion. It is realistic assessment of your capabilities and honest acknowledgement of what is possible when you commit fully. If you want to be an athlete but don't believe your body can perform at elite levels, your actions will be limited by that belief. If you want financial abundance but secretly believe your wealthy people are corrupt, you will sabotage your own success. Belief transformation requires becoming aware of the limiting beliefs you carry and consciously choosing new beliefs that serves your intentions. You don't force yourself to believe, you gather evidence for new possibilities. You expose yourself to people who embody what you want to become, and you take small actions that build conviction. The third element is emotional alignment. Your emotions are not obstacles to bypass. They are the fuel that powers manifestation. When you feel enthusiasm about what you're creating, that enthusiasm energizes your actions and attracts others' support. When you feel gratitude, that gratitude aligns you with abundance. When you feel love for what you're building, that love transforms your work into art. But emotional alignment also requires facing and integrating the challenging emotions, the fear that tells you to prepare better, the doubt that invites you to verify your assumptions, the grief that honors what must be released to make space for new growth. The divine consciousness wave does not flow through only positive emotions, it flows through the full spectrum of human feelings when that feeling is authentic and conscious. The fourth alignment is and also element is action alignment, taking the steps that express your intentions into the world. This is where many people fail because they wait for perfect conditions and complete certainty before acting. But alignment requires acting even when it's uncertain, taking small steps that build momentum, doing what feels right in each moment. Inspired action has a different quality than forced forward of effort. Inspired action feels like what wants to be done rather than what you think you should do. You're not pushing against resistance but flowing with natural movement. You're not trying to control outcomes but responding to what each moment requires. The fifth element is surrendering outcomes. This is the paradox that transforms many spiritual seekers. You must commit fully to your intention while remaining unattached to how it manifests. You do everything in your power and trust that the intelligence of the universe handles the details. You plant the seed and trust the soil and sun to do their part. You have done your work. Now allow the universe to do its work. When all these elements align, clarity, belief, emotions, actions, and surrender, something remarkable occurs. The wave carries you towards your intention. Obstacles that seem insurmountable dissolve. Resources appear that you did not know existed. Relationships form that provide exactly what you need. Opportunities align perfectly. This is not luck. This is the natural result of consciousness aligned with the divine consciousness wave. Channeling the wave for global transformation. As you learn to ride the divine consciousness wave for your personal transformation and achievement, you begin to recognize something even more significant. This wave is not just moving through you, it is moving through all consciousness. Your personal awakening is part of humanity's collective awakening. Your individual success contributes to collective evolution. Your consciousness literally affects the consciousness of the whole. This recognition transforms everything about how you understand your role in this world. You are no longer just creating for yourself. You are a channel through which a divine consciousness wave expresses into the world. Your success becomes meaningful not just because it fulfills you, but because what you create ripples outward, contributing to the transformation of everyone your life touches. The most visionary leaders, artists, scientists, and change makers throughout history have understood this. They recognize that their personal talents were not just for personal gain, but for contribution to the whole. Steve Jobs created not just to build a business, but to put a dent in the universe. Mr. Malala Yousafzai fights not just for her own education, but for the rights of all girls. Mr. Elon Musk creates not just for profit, but to solve existential challenges facing humanity. When you challenge the divine consciousness wave towards purpose rather than yourself, synchronicity accelerates, support flows from unexpected directions, your influence expands, your work attracts collaborators and resources. This is the universe way of supporting consciousness that recognizes its fundamental unity with all life. When you serve the whole serves you. Research in social networks shows that positive change spreads through human systems exponentially. Once awakened consciousness touches others, who touch others, your personal transformation is not separate from global transformation. It is a crucial node in the network through which consciousness is awakening humanity. The divine consciousness wave is moving through humanity right now, calling forth a new level of consciousness that transcends separation and recognizes unity. This wave manifests as movement toward justice, sustainability, compassion, innovation, and collective thriving. When you align with this wave, you become a conscious participant in humanity's evolution. This does not require abandoning personal success or becoming a full-time activist. You can work in any field, business, education, healthcare, arts, trades, as long as your consciousness recognizes that your work matters beyond immediate personal gain. The accountant who serves with integrity, the teacher who inspires students, the entrepreneur who solves real problems, the parent who raises conscious children, all are riding the divine consciousness wave and contributing to collective transformation. The wave invites you to ask new questions about your success and purpose, not just how do I achieve my goals, but how does my success serve the world? Not just what do I want, but what do I have unique capacity to give? Not just how do I win, but how does everyone win through my contribution? When you answer these larger questions and align your consciousness with service to the whole, power flows through you that transcends personal will. Your creativity becomes inspired. Your leadership becomes transformative. Your impact multiplies. You discover that your deepest fulfillment comes not from what you accumulate, but from what you contribute. This is the ultimate expression of riding the divine consciousness wave, recognizing that your personal journey is inseparable from humanity's journey, that your awakening contributes to collective awakening, that your success is most meaningful when it serves purposes larger than yourself. Let us contemplate the riding the eternal wave. As our exploration of the divine consciousness wave reaches the moment of completion, we recognize a profound truth. What we have discussed is not new. Consciousness has always known itself this way. The wave has always been moving. The universe has always orchestrated its own evolution towards greater awakening. What is new is your consciousness recognition of these realities and your deliberate commitment to write them skillfully. The divine consciousness wave is not coming, it is here now, moving through your awareness this very moment. The only question is whether you will recognize it and write it consciously or continue to move against it unconsciously. This is a choice that changes everything about your life and what becomes possible through you. You have more power than you have been using, you have more support than you have been receiving, you have more capacity to contribute than you have been expressing. The divine consciousness wave is calling you to step fully into your power, to recognize your inherent worth and capability, and to channel the infinite intelligence to the universe towards what your soul came here to create and become. From this moment forward, you can approach your life with new understanding. Every challenge is an invitation from the wave. Every opportunity is the universe supporting your evolution. Every moment of alignment is guiding you towards your destiny. Every act of service is you becoming a channel for divine expression. The divine conscious wave that creates galaxies, orchestrates evolution, and moves through all existence, also moves through you. It is not separate from you. You are its expression. Your consciousness wave is divine consciousness. Your power is cosmic power. When you finally claim this fully, everything changes. Your activeness, effectiveness multiplies. Your contribution expands. Your life becomes a masterpiece. Ride the wave consciously. You're not separate from the intelligence that guides it, harness its power deliberately. You're not limited by your past or your circumstances. Contribute boldly. The world needs what you have unique capacity to create. The divine consciousness wave continues to move through all existence, through your consciousness, through this moment. What will you create? Where will you lead? What will become possible when you finally recognize yourself as a channel through which divine power and wisdom express into the world? Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video.